Yo, what's happening everybody? It's your boy N and we are back for another video, and we have a fully maxed out final four, both link board, both limit breaks, both builds, everything, and the results have been super good, amazing, very happy with it. In my opinion, this is the best possible final four that you could have at the moment, and we're gonna go over the way I built them, why I built them a certain way, some extra tips, maybe some alternatives and whatnot. Just a quick update though. The defense results that you saw in the beginning, that's a mixture of outfield and final, but I'm not going to show the outfield replays because I'm keeping that under wraps as I made a few changes and improvements that I have not shared yet. So I'm going to keep that to myself, but we can still go over our final four and some details. So one really important factor that I want to touch on, I get a few DMs or a few people ask me, and I have the same base as you, I have the same shinobi and combos, why don't I get the same results as you? I would say that's mainly because our shinobi builds are different. You have to understand that I spend a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of resources go into building my shinobi to do a certain thing or perform a certain role. If you can summon on a shinobi, make sure that they are worthwhile. I highly suggest that you focus on one shinobi at a time and do your best to max them out. Once you can max out a shinobi, whether it's their path, whether it's their limit break, their EX, or whatever the case is, will you bring out their full potential, and that will help you build the best possible version to suit your goal and your strategy, and that's just going to equal a better result. Now if you can do that for all four shinobi, imagine the results you're going to get. And if you look at the way I build my shinobi, they are all built for a specific reason, they're all built really good, so that's why I get the results that I get. You can't be afraid to focus and spend all your resources on one shinobi because you want to summon every single month. Okay, if you want to have fun, that's cool, but if you want to excel, it's going to require some effort. I really want you guys to understand that. So for example, I did not have a maxed out KLM Naruto a month ago until they made him essential. I started saving tokens, resources. Day by day, I started improving and upgrading his link board. I now have him max part 3. I was able to wait just under a month, and now I have the limit break substitution materials. And a few days ago, I made him plus 3. That's because I wasn't afraid to sacrifice some shinobites to either buy resources or just put all my time and effort into him. And now I have him maxed out a few weeks later, and the results are clearly showing all those resources and efforts paying off. So it's very important to remember, and please think about that. Now in terms of alternative shinobis, it really depends on who you have, number 1, how you build them, number 2, and number 3, what you are trying to achieve. So for example, I know not many people have Shisui. Now what's his role? He is a defensive slash supportive unit providing team immunity, team evasion, team invincibility. He can then also go on the offensive side as his limit break provides a long range attack, a very good damaging area. So who can fit the defensive side and the description that I just mentioned? I would say someone like Sakura Mom, who provides similar team effects, right? She's also a supportive type unit. So if you can understand the basics of a shinobi and their roles and stick to a certain strategy, then you can easily find the best possible replacement that you have in order to meet again your goals and your strategy. Now let's say you want to go on the offensive side and increase your attack or stripping capabilities. You could replace someone like KLM Naruto, who is a supportive unit, with let's say Itachi Anbu, Minato V1, or even Mr. Boruto. But then since you will then be lacking evasion strip, you could then add N20 as a follow-up to try and counter what you don't have. Or even yet, if you want to then also try and add a similar effect to Mr. Shishui's limit break in terms of a damaging area, you could add Sasuke Kid. If you want to increase the defensive side even more, you could then add Rin. So it really just depends. And again, once you understand the basics and why you are adding certain shinobi to do a certain role, not just looking at what someone else is doing and trying to copy that. If you understand the roles that they provide, you could then find a replacement or a different or similar strategy. Okay, so enough of that. Now let's break down my final four in detail. So first we have Gaara V1. He is a supportive shinobi. The only role that he has is to stay alive and provide team invincibility, more specifically in the beginning of the match. As you guys can see, we are focusing on high HP and defense. That will help him tank more damage, stay alive. That's his goal. Because he is a orange type, he gets 30% added paralysis from his link board. So all we need is 100%, and then we need 130% to cover confusion. Then we have Mr. Cal M. Naruto, and you guys should know by now, I don't recommend using a third move for him. We want to keep him in a true iframe cycle, meaning we want him to spam his new effects and his new kit only, and then that combined with Naruto Final Valley and his true iframe cycle makes things really nasty for our enemies. Now, a really good card that we all should have, it's free and that I highly recommend for any Final 4 defender, and it's free, so we should all have this, and we are now able to get 2 of it with that exchange shop thing. So this EX card basically allows our shinobi to tank more damage from an EX ultimate, let's say Sasuke Final Valley's EX damaging area, or take more damage from an EX head on. This will hopefully keep them in the game longer, or just keep them alive long enough to ult the enemy, etc. So that can be very helpful. And then my final 4 philosophy again is kill or be killed, and not only to be on the protective side or the defensive side with iframes and invincibility, it's also to kill the enemy as fast as possible before they could do anything else. So that's why I have him and Naruto Final Valley both with again high HP and defense to tank damage, but also overall high attack to one support Gaara V1 not being able to deal any damage, and again to kill the enemies as fast as possible, but also trying to keep them on the defensive side. And then for his follow-up and my other final 4 units, I always recommend Sasuke in 20th and Sasuke vs Jigen. This will increase overall CP drainage, extra ranged attacks, and it really makes it hard for the enemies to breathe. Now I have Sasuke in 20th specifically on him because he uses his 4-star first, which is his bond and his follow-up, and that could be very important at the start of the match because he has a better knockback combo than Sasuke vs Jigen, and again it can really make it hard for the enemy to breathe. Then we have Mr. Shisui Uchiha, and the same principles apply to him. We want him to spam his new effects, his new kit, so we don't want a third jutsu, only his new kit. And we have his limit break in first to increase stripping abilities and make sure he spams his team buffs first, such as team evasion, etc. And the fact that his limit break provides a very good range attack is awesome. And like I previously mentioned, he also has that EX card which helps him tank more EX damage. Very nice and very good. If you look at the way he's built, I didn't increase his attack too much. I tried to focus more on HP and defense to again try and keep him alive longer and support the rest of the team. That's his role. He doesn't really need a super high attack build, as my other 2 shinobi support that role. And then like I said with Sasuke in 20th, this follow-up also provides similar effects and just makes it very hard for the enemies to breathe and zap CP like there's no tomorrow. Last but not least, and one of my best shinobi, if not my best shinobi, we have Naruto Final Valley with a double limb break. Very important, please do not put his 4-star on. I see so many people with his 4-star on. If you do that, he's not going to consistently use his new limit break first, which is what we need for a true iframe, stripping abilities, and overall team protection. So if you look at the way he's built extremely well, and again very good in my opinion to support the overall strategy of my fortress. High defense and high HP to tank damage, super high attack and crit to again deal more damage and try to make up for Gaara V1's lack of damage, also with necessary resistances and whatnot. In my opinion and with my strategy, this is just perfect, or as good as it gets, and I'm very happy with that. So yeah, that's overall my final 4, my builds, my ideas, and my strategies. If you have all the shinobi that you see here, I highly recommend that you use them as a combo. And again, in my opinion, this is the best final 4 that you could have. But let's get into some of the replays.
楽にしてやる。楽にしてやる。